Most Ford AC systems don't fail overnight. They lose cooling slowly from a few specific issues that almost no one checks. Owners assume the compressor is bad or the refrigerant leaked. Most of the time, it's airflow restrictions, heat buildup, and small components wearing out. Today, I'll show you 12 simple things that can make your Ford's AC blow twice as cold without replacing any major parts or paying a mechanic. Ignore the wrong ones, and the system doesn't stay weak, it fails. If you want to make your Ford's AC blow colder right now, one of the simplest tricks I teach my customers is how to use max AC and recirculation mode the right way. The difference is huge. Most people will sit in their F-150, their Explorer, their Escape, sweating and sitting at a light, and they haven't actually set the system up for maximum cooling. When you hit max AC on a Ford, the system sets the temperature to the coldest setting, cranks the blower up, directs air to the dash vents, and automatically uses recirculated air from inside the cab instead of pulling in scorching outside air. Your AC doesn't have to fight the heat outside over and over because it's cooling air that's already been chilled, which gets the cabin cold faster and feels much colder than normal AC. That's exactly why I always say max AC is the most efficient way to get down to temperature quickly. Recirculation locks the doors shut on outside air and keeps cooling the same cooler air, which helps your compressor and evaporator work more efficiently instead of battling fresh, warm air. On many Ford models, recirculation automatically comes on with max AC, and it will stay engaged unless you defrost and force it off. You might not notice this if you're not looking at the climate controls, so don't miss this. If you want your Ford to reach ice cold levels faster, start with max AC and make sure recirculation is active. Then let the system work its magic. This is a free way to improve the AC, and the next one is also free and something you might not have thought of. Before you crank the AC full blast, take a minute to vent all that trapped hot air out of the cabin first. Open the windows or doors and let that super hot air escape. It might feel crazy sitting there with the windows down for 30 to 60 seconds, but letting out the heat first makes a huge difference once you turn the AC on because the system isn't fighting to cool air that feels like an oven. Here's the interesting point. When you've been parked in the sun, your cabin can be much hotter inside than outside. Simply cracking the windows and driving a short distance or leaving them open for a moment flushes that hot air out. So when you switch to the AC and recirculation mode, the system starts with cooler air instead of trying to reverse the cabin heat. I've had many F-150 and Explorer owners tell me they notice that when they do this, the vents feel cold faster and the AC doesn't have to work as hard, which saves fuel and reduces wear on the compressor. Don't skip this trick just because you're in a hurry. It's free, takes just a minute, and lets your AC system work like it should. Just remember to close the windows before you settle in and let the AC do its thing, so you're cooling the air inside efficiently, not letting it all just blow out again. Many Ford owners don't realize how much a dirty cabin air filter can choke your Ford's AC system until it's already gunked up and you're wondering why the vents seem weak or aren't blasting cold air anymore. Your cabin filter captures dust, pollen, dirt, and other airborne junk before the air gets blown into the cabin, but over time it gets clogged and restricts airflow. When airflow is restricted, even cold air coming out of the evaporator can't make it to your vents efficiently. That's why I always recommend replacing the cabin air filter as specified in your owner's manual, which is typically roughly every 15 to 20,000 miles, depending on your driving conditions. Clean airflow is just as important as having a healthy compressor or refrigerant level, but many people ignore this. When the filter gets full of crud, the blower motor has to work harder just to push air through it. This leads to weaker AC performance and can even lead to a heavier workload on your HVAC. Many Ford owners have noticed that there's better airflow and fresher smell just by changing an overlooked filter, almost like night and day. Even better, replacing a cabin filter is a quick DIY job. Once you hit the miles, you can get it changed in 15 minutes. A clean cabin air filter doesn't cool the air itself, but it lets that cold air reach your face with stronger airflow. This makes your AC feel much colder and more effective without spending more than $50. This is the cheapest way to revive your AC performance when it's struggling, and is a basic form of maintenance. This is one of those tips I recommend in my Ford longevity guide called How to Make Your Ford Last 500,000 Miles. When replacing the filter, you should also clean out the AC inlet. Many people don't think about the AC inlet area when cleaning their car. That's the spot on your Ford where the outside air gets first pulled into the HVAC system, until it starts acting like a wind tunnel full of dust, leaves, and crud. The inlet is usually near the base of the windshield under the wiper cowl, and it can get packed with debris over time. When it does, it chokes the airflow before the air even reaches your cabin filter or evaporator. Leaves, dirt, and bugs clog those intake vents, so your AC has to work way harder just to push air through. That reduces how cold and strong the air feels. Many people have this problem even more often when they drive through dusty roads, park under trees, or if they never lift the hood area to check under the cowl. A lot of F-150 and Explorer owners run into musty smells or weak airflow simply because that area gets packed with junk and fresh air can't move through the system. Here's the easy fix. To clean the inlet, you can pull out the leaves and debris with a shop vacuum or soft brush to make your AC colder and stronger almost immediately. So before the summer months, take a few minutes to clear out the intake and give your AC system a chance to perform the way it was meant to. While these tips can make your AC system cooler, the next two are things you need to do on the outside of your car so it's always cool. If you've already picked up something useful, the next few tips are the ones most Ford owners never think about, but they make a massive difference in how cold the AC actually feels. Most people focus only on the AC, but this part is just as important. When it's blazing outside, keeping the cabin itself cooler before your AC even starts can make a huge difference in how cold your Ford feels once the system kicks in. No one likes to walk into an oven-hot F-150, Explorer, or Ranger because at that moment the AC will start blowing warm air for the first few minutes. Here's the important part. The hotter your cabin is to start with, the harder your air conditioning has to work just to overcome that stored heat. If you want to keep the cabin cooler, you should park your car in shade or use sunshades on the windshield and side windows. This cuts down on how hot the interior gets in the first place. Many Ford owners don't even think about these steps, but just reducing the cabin heat load before you even switch on the AC lets your system cool the space faster and feel cooler more quickly. So taking those extra minutes before you drive will put less strain on your AC system and your engine overall, which helps extend the life of your compressor. It keeps your ride comfortable on long summer trips. You can also consider tinting the windows of your Ford to keep it cool. Sunlight blasting through the windows of your Ford can quickly turn the interior into an oven, and then the AC starts working harder to cool it down. Here's what helps. A good quality heat-rejecting window tint actually blocks a big chunk of solar heat before it ever enters the cabin, so the inside doesn't get as hot in the first place and your air conditioning doesn't have to fight an uphill battle every time you get in the truck. Quality tint films like ceramic tints can reject a significant amount of infrared heat and UV rays, which keeps the interior temperature much lower after you've been baking in the sun. In fact, with a good tint on the side and rear windows, the cabin can be up to 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than without, meaning your Ford's AC reaches a comfortable temperature faster with less strain on the compressor. The reduced workload can save a little on fuel and reduce wear over time because the system isn't running at full blast all day. So window tint isn't just for looks, it's a practical upgrade that keeps your cabin cooler on hot days, protects your interior from UV damage, and still makes your car look good. But back to the settings, there are two other AC settings you can consider using for better performance. When trying to get your Ford's AC to chill as cold as it's capable, how you set the temperature and use auto mode actually matters a lot. If you notice that you crank your vents full blast, but still feel like the AC is just okay instead of ice cold, here's something else you can try. If you turn the temperature all the way down, often showing as low, and then hit auto, the climate system will manage the fan speed, airflow direction, and AC operation itself to reach and hold that cold setting as efficiently as possible. This is better than trying to adjust the settings over and over again. Auto mode is a smart controller that uses your desired temperature as a target and adjusts everything else to achieve it. Important note, when set to low, the system's goal is maximum cooling, so it will typically keep the fan at high speed most of the time. It speeds up the blower and directs airflow where it's needed when it's hot, then backs off when you reach the specific temperature that you've set. Here's why this works. Ford's climate systems are designed so auto and lowest temperature settings work together to help the AC system operate at peak chill without you babysitting the settings. Once your cabin starts to reach a more moderate target temperature, auto might reduce the blower speed. If you want stronger airflow after it's cold, you can manually bump the fan speed up a bit. Sometimes your AC system might not be working right, not because you got the wrong settings, but because of a problem with the system. While these tips will make your AC feel twice as cold, the next tips involve looking under the hood to fix what's wrong. Now we're getting into the stuff that actually fixes weak AC. No one thinks about the refrigerant in their Ford's AC system until the air starts feeling lukewarm instead of nice and cold. But it makes a difference when you have a professional check the charge. Most modern Fords, whether the older R134A systems or the newer R1234YF systems, are designed to hold a specific type and amount of refrigerant that helps the compressor remove heat from the air. If the level is low, the system can struggle to absorb and transfer heat properly, which makes the air feel weak and warm even though the compressor sounds like it's working. But here's the important part. Unlike engine oil or coolant, refrigerant doesn't wear out on its own. If it's low, that usually means there's a leak somewhere in the lines, condenser, or O-rings. And just topping it off without finding the leak is a temporary fix. A lot of Ford owners notice their truck's AC doesn't feel as cold as it used to. Once a slow leak is found and the system is properly recharged to Ford's spec using the correct refrigerant, their vents suddenly feel colder. Now here's a critical safety note. You cannot accurately or safely check refrigerant levels without an AC manifold gauge set, and recharging requires specialized equipment to evacuate and weigh the refrigerant. Using DIY top-off cans can overpressurize the system, introduce contaminants, and cause costly damage. If you suspect a refrigerant issue, take it to a qualified shop. Low refrigerant can also cause the compressor to cycle on and off more frequently, or even make hissing or bubbling noises as it tries to compensate. So if your Ford's AC feels weak and nothing else works, have a professional check the refrigerant level and correct leaks early. This will also prevent a costly compressor failure down the road. If there's nothing wrong with the refrigerant levels, you can clean the condensers and air passages instead. Another part of your AC you might not think about is the condenser right up front under the grill. But this little heat exchanger plays a huge role in how cold your Ford's AC actually gets. The condenser sits in front of the radiator, where it dumps heat out of the refrigerant before it circulates back into your cabin cooling loop. When that area gets packed with dirt, leaves, bugs, or debris, it can block airflow and make it much harder for the system to release heat. This means your AC feels weak or warm even when everything else seems fine. That's because dirty fins and blocked passages prevent effective heat dissipation and reduce cooling efficiency. Many F-150s and Explorer owners are surprised to find that simply cleaning the condenser fins with low-pressure air or a soft brush brings the AC back blowing strong cold air. It was something the owner had never checked before. Keeping that area clean helps the refrigerant cool down more effectively, reduces strain on the compressor, and can prevent premature wear on the AC system. A clogged condenser can cause the compressor to work harder, raise pressures in the system, and shorten component life. Don't skip this. Before assuming you need more refrigerant or an expensive repair, take a moment to clear the debris around the condenser and radiator. At the same time, you should check the cooling fans too. The cooling fans up front on your Ford aren't just for the engine. They play a big role in how cold your AC gets too. These electric fans, or a mechanical fan on older trucks, pull air through the condenser and radiator. This helps the refrigerant shed heat and turn back into a cold liquid that your AC system uses to chill the cabin. If the fans aren't running when they should, you'll notice warm air at idle or in traffic, weaker cooling, and overall less cold AC, especially on hot days. When your AC compressor is working hard and it's hot outside, the condenser builds up heat just like your engine does. The cooling fans kick on to force air through the condenser so that heat can escape. Without that airflow, the refrigerant can't cool down properly, and your vents end up blowing lukewarm air even though the system itself is fine. A lot of F-150 and Explorer owners notice weak vent temps on hot days, and it turns out one of the cooling fans isn't running consistently. Here's what to watch for. If your cooling fans aren't spinning up when the AC is on, it can be an electrical issue, a bad relay, a blown fuse, or a worn-out fan motor. Anytime your system can't move heat out of the condenser, your AC suffers. It doesn't take long to check the fans. Just start the truck on a hot day with the AC on and listen under the hood. Catching fan problems early can save you from bigger AC or engine cooling issues later. But if you want your Ford's AC to work right for a long time, you should run the system regularly. This one surprises a lot of owners, but it's important. You might think that your Ford's AC is only for hot days, but running the system regularly, even when it's cooler outside, actually helps it stay healthy and cold when you need it most. Every time you run the AC, refrigerant circulates through the system and carries a little oil with it that helps lubricate seals, O-rings, and the compressor internals. If you let the system sit unused for months, that lubricant can settle, seals may dry out, and you can end up with leaks or a compressor that seizes when summer rolls back around. Most Ford owners deal with this problem after a long winter where the AC never gets turned on. Then on the first hot summer day, it doesn't feel as cold as it used to. So during the winter months, run the AC for about 15 minutes, once a month, just to keep it going. A little regular use now and then can help you avoid costly repairs later, like a $1,000 compressor replacement because a seal dried out over months of disuse. And finally, for anything you do, you should maintain your air conditioning system. Your Ford's AC has a bunch of parts working together, including the hoses, seals, belts, compressor, condenser, and evaporator, and all of these benefit from routine checking. A simple annual inspection, especially before summer, includes having a pro check refrigerant levels, inspecting hoses and seals for cracks or leaks, and making sure the condenser and evaporator aren't packed with dirt. This can go a long way toward preventing big problems later. A Ford owner might deal with weak airflow, strange noises, or musty smells when something's been neglected for too long. Catching this early means you avoid a costly compressor replacement or refrigerant leak repair. So what should you do? Inspect belts and hoses for wear during routine service intervals, have refrigerant levels checked professionally, and replace components like seals or worn parts while they're still affordable to fix. Because once your AC system is damaged from heat or neglect, it doesn't slowly get worse. It fails.